Hello everyone, this is a casual update report and it has several components, a few things I wanted to talk about, starting with, for us, we the people, practicing what we have been preaching, practicing what we are preaching, doing what we say we should be doing instead of just putting these things in words and social media. And I just wanted to go over that and also let you know about a few changes I have made. Yes, just like the way I'm preaching for others, I have been preaching to myself, and I have been putting certain things into action. Well, as you all know, I have never been a YouTuber. I have had my own independent platform, website, Newsbud, for about 11, 12 years. Before it was Newsbud, we had it as Boiling Frogs Post. It was a small forum, small website. But I still kept semi-active on their platforms as far as social media is concerned. And for example, Facebook, I set up Facebook, I believe around 2010, 2012. And then I put my own preaching into action in about a year ago. I basically stopped using my Facebook account, not only as a boycott, but by just saying that enough is enough and I don't want to use their platform. I gave my password to 3-4 trustworthy volunteers. Once or twice a month, they go to my Facebook account and they post my recent reports or the links to them. And that's basically the extent of it, but I haven't been out there using Facebook account whatsoever, so that's it. Kaput for me, Facebook. It's been almost a year. So that's one. As far as YouTube is concerned, as I have emphasized several times in the past 6-7 months, I'm using YouTube only to notify people on reports, breaking news, analysis, or just simple discussion chats that I have posted on Newsbud or on Patreon sites. So I have been using it as notification method, generally speaking, 90% of the times. That left only one other social media outlet that I have been active on, not very active. If I were to put it in terms of how much time I have been spending in the past, let's say 2 years or so, 10 minutes here a day, 5 minutes here a day, I would say as much as 1.5 hours a day, not only posting links to my reports at Newsbud, but also disseminating, sharing noteworthy developments, articles, op-ed, whether on geopolitical fronts or on the domestic political issues here in the United States. I have been using it for that. And as of yesterday, I put an end to that as well. Not ending it as, okay, here it is, I deleted my account and I'm not gonna use it. But number one thing I did, I made it private, okay? The other things I'm gonna do, and this is what I announced on Twitter before I went about doing it, I am going to reduce the number of people who get to see my posts there and post comments. Currently, I have about 51,000 followers on Twitter. And I came to this realization that it is completely meaningless. The majority of the interactions I have seen on Twitter, posts by other people, response to some of my posts, the majority of them have been, May, why am I doing this? That's the question I have been asking for the past several months. And as I have said it on Twitter before making my account private, is that it's not about the quantity, you know. Ooh, look at this, I have 50,000 people there who are following me, or 1 million people out there following this account. It is not whatsoever about quantity. In fact, I have seen zero correlation in terms of being effective or translating information into either actionable items or even for some constructive discussion. Constructive, emphasis on constructive, zero correlation. In fact, I would say for me, based on my own experience, in my own humble opinion, a person, or at least for me, I rather have 500 followers of a certain demographic. By demographic, I don't mean financial status or the gender or the religion or ethnicity. No, no, no. What I'm talking about is the kinds of people who not only believe, but actually implement, take action on issues, on cases, okay? Whether it's within their own individual family, okay? Let's say with the way they're raising their children, whether it's with their work, how they approach things. These are all these elements that are telling, okay? That are telling. Are you looking at someone or a group who are considered doers in life, okay? People who do things, all right? In this case, good things. Things that move us more towards positive results, whether it's for that person, the individual, or for a certain group or community, or for the society as general, okay? Zero correlation with quantity. And looking at, let's say, a good example of this would be my own account on Twitter. I have seen, and I have been paying attention, I have been maintaining my own statistics, tests, casual surveys, and I have come to realization that of the 50,000+ people following Sibel Edmonds' accounts, I have somewhere between 500 or 1,000 people that I have gotten to know their avatars, their comments, and again, constructive comments. By constructive comments, I don't mean people who come and agree with me and say, yeah, yeah, woo-hoo, great. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about whether it's criticism, whether it's disagreement, whether it is agreement with additional caveat built into it. People who actually are articulately, positively, with respect, not only respect for me, but with respect for the rest of the community, come and share their opinions, or they offer opinions, or they offer solutions. I would say less than 1,000. I mean, just take a look at the ratio, okay? 50,000+ followers, you're looking at maximum, and this is maximum. I think it's more like 500, but let's say 1,000 people that make it worthwhile to come and share. Well, then you look at the cost of it, the time spent on it. And those of you who have been following me on social media, you may have seen me using the words junk information, junk news, cyber junkies. And it is not really meant, these adjectives that I have been using, it is not meant to be patronizing or insulting. It has nothing to do with that. It's the trend and it's the reality. It's a fact, okay? In fact, if you go and look at the number of children under the age 14, 15 who are dealing with cyber addiction and all sorts of really serious, of concern, even dangerous symptoms they have been exhibiting, spending hours at a time on YouTube channels and TikTok and Instagram and the online games and online chats. And if you go and look at the studies, if you look at the reports, factual reports out there, you see that they have turned into what I consider cyber junkies, with the attention level getting shorter and shorter and shorter, with the general health well-being, whether psychologically or physically, going lower, lower, and further down. It is a huge disease that has been inflicting the society, not only here in the United States, all over the world. Cyber addiction and the cyber activities by people. Now, interestingly, when I look at my own community at, let's say, Newsbud, okay, I have had this community for nearly 12 years. I can easily tell you that about 70–75% of my members who have been with me for years and years here at Newsbud, they are not active on social media, Facebook, Twitter. Either they are not active at all, or very little private activities within their private family members network through, let's say, Facebook. But they always tell me when I mention things that, oh, I don't use social media, or I don't get to see your stuff because I don't spend time there. Well, that also corresponds to these people, their other life situation, okay? Because when you look at life, this life includes work, family responsibility, your health, your physical health, your hygiene, all sorts of errands that all of us have to deal with and put up with and get down to it and do, and they are unending. I mean, right now, those of you who are mothers, okay, whether you're working part-time, you're working full-time, but you're also mothers, you know exactly what I'm talking about, right? I'm just looking at each day of my own life, okay? Okay, from meal preparations, okay? And this meal preparation for me, in general, on average, when you do breakfast, lunch, and including lunch that I pack for my child to take to school and dinner, just prep alone and the cleanup included afterwards, we are looking at easily 1.5 hours a day. 1.5 hours a day, prepping, cooking, cleaning up afterwards. This is not taking into consideration the amount of time it takes to go and shop for it, because we don't use everything canned, right? We have to go and get fresh vegetable because we have a certain menu for this week's dinner menu for let's say 4 days, Monday through Friday. So there is shopping involved, there's laundry, there is cleaning your house, there is the time that you have to, you need to spend with your kids, whether it's with their homeworks, whether it's with their own hygienes, if they are younger. I mean, this is not even putting into this equation the work, okay? Then there are other things, bookkeeping. You know, we all write bills, okay? All of us have to deal with taxes, have to deal with our bank accounts, all the credit card bills, the house mortgage, the car insurance, the car mortgage. Well, these are the things that are time consuming. It's not every day 4 hours, 5 hours, but if you take the monthly time spent on just these types of financial, economic related, bookkeeping related activities, several hours a month easily, minimum, goes into that. Now you bring into that work, okay, having to earn for yourself, earn for your family, commuting, okay, and expanded family related dynamics that we spend time, friends that we spend time, exercise, taking care of our body, okay, our own showers, our own the things that we have to do, we should do, hopefully we are all doing it, okay, the amount of maybe exercise, even if it's half an hour walk a day, you put all those things and then think about it and say, what kind of people, and now I'm getting down to the demographics, the demographics that does not have anything to do with gender, race, your socioeconomic status, etc., etc. It just has to do with the type of people who are spending time or not on the social media, okay? And I can tell you, I know personally, adults, people in their 30s, 40s, okay? Some 50s, I know them in person, okay? On average, they spend 5-6 hours a day constantly, just like those kids, the teenagers, the 12-year-olds, they're doing the games and checking Instagram, the YouTube. They are checking information. They go and check somebody else's account. They respond to this, they respond to that. They spend on average 6 hours. 6-7 hours a day spent on this. Well, when you look, okay, again, this is not to insult anyone. This is me telling you the facts. Now, these facts are gonna really bug the heck out of some people. They're gonna get offended because it hits them. And you know what? I hope that they will get offended. Or even better, I hope it will make them stop and think and say, wow, the opportunity cost of this time spent on the cell phone or a laptop or a notebook, doing this comment, that comment, attacking this, putting this, sharing that link, bringing that, copy, paste that, 6 hours a day, the opportunity cost of it is tremendous. And when you look at that demographic, I am sorry to inform you, but this is fact. You're not gonna find those people who are engaged in this. You're not gonna find people who have had really long-term, healthy relationship, whether with their spouse, husband and wife, whether it's a long-term relationship partner, you will not find. Of the people I know, I can tell you this because as I have told you, those of you who've been following me and listening to and watching my other reports, I'm always making my own data, my own statistics, okay? You look at these people, on average, of the ones I know, the relationship average years spent moving from one relationship, racking it, then to the other one and to the other one. And in some unfortunate cases, there are children created or child created with each one of these relationships, is 15 months. Is 15 months because relationship, those of you who have been like me, married for 30 years, or those of you who have been in long-term relationship with your spouse or with your partner, it doesn't matter what kind of relationship. You know that relationship, maintaining a relationship, fulfilling the responsibilities, one's responsibilities to a relationship takes time and effort, energy, time, okay? One partner cannot go and do all the bookkeeping and the bank account and the cooking and the shopping and earning money, and the other one sits there, okay, probably in his or her PJ, and tweets and Facebooks and Instagrams and does a TikTok thing. It doesn't happen, okay? That relationship, guaranteed here, will not last. And I will dare anyone to find people with fulfilling family life, long-term relationship of 10 years, 15 years, even let's say 7-8 years, who are the kinds who are spending these times being cyber junkies. It doesn't happen. Same goes for career success, whether you're working for someone or whether you have your own business, whether you're working from home. You cannot be, we cannot be productive, successful, okay, fulfilling our ambitions, providing for ourselves, but also for our family, for our children, if we are not focused and truly working, if we are doing this, okay, this is a disease. I really call it a disease. Now, I know this is a long-winded way of telling you. This is why I see that demographic is meaningless. In fact, through social media like Twitter, etc., I haven't used LinkedIn, I haven't used Instagram. I don't have accounts for those. So every day they are coming up with new accounts. I see that majority of the people that I have seen, I have observed, are those cyber junkies, cyber addicts, people who are not doers in life, in their family, with their extended family, with their work, with their businesses, with their finances. They are not. And honestly, I can't see how can anyone say, hopefully these people who are saying, let's do something, we gotta do something about the mask, we gotta do something about this, that they're gonna translate into action in life. Trust me, these people won't, because their entire concept, notion of doing things for them is being junkies on the cyberspace. That is not going to get us anywhere, okay? And for, let's say, those of us who spend that 1.5, 2 hours, 10 minutes here, 15 minutes here, trying to inform, trying to get these people, unite people, say, let's have a constructive, united front and counter these deep state practices, etc., we are preaching to the wrong choir. And I have seen that. I have noticed that. In fact, I have known this for the past, I would say, 2 years. But I kept doing it. Maybe that is some sort of an addiction. I still spend that 1.5, 2 hours a day saying, take a look at what is happening here in Syria, look at this development here in Sweden, or this report by this scientific publication, countering the argument for masks. I did that. And then I said to myself, that's it. Number one, look at the people who are owning it. They are shadow banning me. They have been doing it since July, August 2018, because I have, again, the data statistics, both YouTube, this despicable channel, YouTube, I hope they are listening. I hope they will go ahead and eliminate this channel. Have zero worries on that front. And also Twitter, that it's futile. It doesn't translate into anything positive, very few positive. I wouldn't say any positive. And I'm going to mention one of those positives right now. And as I was going through these thoughts, and this is the interesting part, I got a phone message, a note by my through my email, a message from a wonderful individual I got to meet recently here in Southwest Florida, in Naples, Florida, Gregory Hill. How did we get to meet each other? It ended up being through Twitter, because I was tweeting something about some protest here. I think it was a BLM protest in Naples, Florida. And he posted, responded to that. I started following him. Then he sent me a direct message and said, hey, welcome to Florida. I have been following your work for the past few years. So we connected. Again, through this poisonous channel, forum, Twitter, but something good. One of those rare instances when something good comes out of a lot of bad things, okay? Well, we connected. We got to meet in person. He actually notified me of a very good, constructive, positive, peaceful protest for one of the local business owners who was refusing to comply with the COVID craze measures. And I went and I attended. So I got to meet him and his friend, Gary. Gary, if you're watching, hello. And they are in their 50s. And these people, they don't spend 7 or 8 hours on Twitter or Instagram or Facebook. Both of them have families. They have raised successfully their children. Both of them are working full-time. One has his own business. I mean, I got to meet two decent folks, good people, solid good people, who also happen to be activists, awake. And I was so glad to meet with them. I joined the protest. I went there, I met them, and then I was invited to their house. But then, as I was going through all these process of thinking, what am I going to do? What the heck am I going to do with this Twitter? I got a note from Greg saying that he and a few friends of his have been organizing local meetings, getting together, exchanging ideas. If there is a protest to be formed, whether it's on a town hall meeting or going maybe to the state congress in Florida, that they were doing that if I would attend. And actually, this is how he put it. He said, I know you're so busy. You know, he knows. He met my family. He met my husband. He met my daughter. I met his grandchildren as well. And he said, well, I know how busy you are. You work several jobs, several contract work, plus this, and the family, and my husband's health situation. So I don't know if you can make it. I said, I want to. I said, I really want to. And I said, count me in. Please put me on your notification list. And I want to start doing things physically with you people and your friends and your other activist network members. I want to do things. I've been itching to do things. He's like, wow, this is so fantastic. I don't know what to say. And so we have been discussing this. In fact, those of you who are in Southwest Florida, I'm in Naples, okay? And there is going to be a protest in Fort Myers, Florida on September 23rd, okay? And that I think is going to be Wednesday, September 23rd at 6 p.m. And people are going to meet. These are families, these are parents, these are people with children. They're going to be meeting, gathering on Central Avenue, okay? And what are they doing? This is a group called Parents for Informed Choice. All right, we are talking about informed consent, you know. COVID flu vaccine that is coming, and all the buzz, all the indicators out there saying that it's going to be mandatory. These are parents. These are people who are working, who are raising children. These are people who are paying attention, but these are not cyber junkies sitting there doing this. They have been meeting, they have been organizing, they have been planning, and boom, it's coming into action. Now, whether 10 people are going to attend or 500, I don't care, I'm going. And I told them that yes, I have to pick up my daughter from school. She is part of also volleyball team, so I have to work out that schedule. If we have to pick her up earlier from school, we will. But my family and I are going to drive. It's about 35 minutes drive. We're going to go to Fort Myers. Those of you from Southwest Florida, from nearby here, Naples, Fort Myers, Bonita Springs, Sanibel, Sarasota, please, if you're interested, if you're parents, if you're grandparents, and you believe that we are entitled, okay, to have choice and to have informed choice, please join us. I'm going to do it this Wednesday, okay, Fort Myers, Central Avenue, 6 p.m. But this communication with Greg made me think and said, okay, when I calculated, I have been spending 1.5, 2 hours, 10 minutes here, 5 minutes there on Twitter. I'm gonna cut that. Instead, I'm gonna go and do these things. All these local meetings, expanding our network, activist network. When there needs to be attendance in town hall, going to Congress, we're gonna do that. But I'm not gonna be able to do that if I'm still taking care of my family and my finances and earnings and all the things that life has for us that we need to do, and some of it we go like, oh, I wish I didn't have to, but we must do. I'm gonna spend my time wisely, much wiser. I'm gonna put it on that. So I announced, and that Twitter account went into private mode, and I'm gonna be reducing that 50,000 to a much smaller group. Now, another thing I have been doing, and in fact, this morning was the first time I did it. I'm like, okay, well, what I was doing on Twitter, that's a deep state platform, like YouTube, Facebook. These are the deep state people, forces, entities we are up against. These are the people we are fighting against, okay? Yet, our activism is limited on their platform, to their platforms. That's insane. That is insane. That is crazy. That is irrational, crazy. And anybody who's doing it, especially those people who say They are YouTubers and they say YouTube is a bad place. They have been blocking this and that and we must do something. And then they continue putting all their work on YouTube. I mean, if that is not crazy, what is crazy? You're going to say, look at this. But I'm telling you, this is not only on YouTube. This is on 3 different servers saved. And this is to let those people, the ones, the demographic who are action-oriented, those of you who are like me, family-oriented, those of you like me who work for life, okay? And you take your responsibility as provider, as a parent who's a provider, as a spouse as a provider, seriously. And you too are sick and tired of what you see. Just take a look at the comments being posted on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook. Most of these comments, they're not articulate, they are not respectful. These people, most of them, not all, most of them are spewing hate. They are spewing negativity, divisiveness, red, blue, you are that, you're anti-global warming, F you, BITCH. I mean, it's non-stop. Why? A lot of people are so turned off, that's why they don't go. Good for you. But we want to discuss things. We want to talk about things. I still want to be able to share some of the most important developments that may be going censored or blacked out, are not receiving, let's say, enough attention with my other activist buddies, okay, with my community members at Newsbud, at Patreon. Therefore, I went and I looked at my Patreon website and I saw that I can post a thread, turn it into a thread and say, here are the 2 important developments that most of the media outlets out there are not covering. Let's discuss and also bring in your links. So I did the first one this morning and it's been going well. Here it is. You can see it on the screen. It was posted around, I don't know, 10 a.m. this morning. We already have about 20 comments. Other people have come and posted links. I'm like, this is great. We don't have to do it via Twitter. Just turning my site, a portion of that every single day or every other day, and post what I was posting, taking the time, wasting the time, posting it on Twitter, or those of you who are doing it on Facebook. I'm doing it for my community, for my community members at Patreon. And it's going to be pretty much daily. That 2 hours that I spend is going to be spent on activism, local activism, and I will even travel when necessary, some of the other states nearby, but also expanding my Patreon community and not only have the 2-3 video reports I've been publishing, but also post daily threads, updates. Here are interesting developments. Here are the recent discussion worthy cases, okay? And have people come and do the same thing. My members can come and say, have you seen this? This is very important. Someone from Virginia came and said, do you know that this and this happened and this is happening locally here? Well, this is fantastic. I see that it's far more effective and productive, constructive, very constructive than doing it on Twitter or on these places like Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, whatever, the deep state's platforms. I am not going to do that any longer. And I encourage you, those of you who believe that what I have been telling you resonates with you. You are like me. You are so disgusted with that poisonous environment of that certain demographic. You know they're not going to take action. These people, they don't even take action for their own hygienes or health, for their own physical wellness. People who are not taking action, working for their own children, for their children's future, to feed them, to clothe them, okay? I had the misfortune of meeting one person in person, because most people I don't get to meet in person. But this person spends 7-8 hours on Twitter and is a YouTuber, does one YouTube video after another one. And this is how the conversation was with this person. First of all, there is the computer, laptop, okay, doing the whatever, the Cyber-Junkie-ism, here is the word for it. There is a 6-pack sitting on icebox. Okay, so it's like, I'm not against drinking beer. I drink beer 2-3 times a week, cold beer, good, at 5-6 o'clock. Okay, 6, and there's more to come. Puffing the dope, I'm for legalization of marijuana. I'm not saying puffing dope is a bad thing, but this is during the day, every single day, 7 days a week, about 18 hours a day, drinking beer, smoking dope, activism, armchair, keyboard activism, YouTubeism, okay? And the conversation I've had, this is how it went. Okay, it's like, yeah, they are totally coming after us. You know, they want us sterilize. They want us to be all sterile. They want to take away my sperm. This is why I am not registering and doing this and this. This is why I'm not working, because if I work, I pay tax, then they can find me easier. It's like hoochie there. And then I tell you, this is real life example. Then the helicopter was passing, okay? And he went like, you hear that? I said, what? You hear that? And I'm like, oh, it's helicopter. No. They are sending Black Hawk after me because of my YouTube activism. It was, please, I need to get out of here. I just started really getting concerned for my safety, because you're looking at individuals who would fit into the category of either paranoia or paranoid delusion, delusional. This is not what I want to do. I do not care to share my work, all these discussions with people who are posting these types of comments, making these kinds of contents, and have this kind of attitude for life, for activism. Now, that aside, I would like to connect with you. Those of you in Southwest Florida, join me at Patreon. I have several people from the area, including Greg Hill. And thank you very much, Greg. Thank you for, first of all, welcoming me to Florida and help me get into the folds of the landscape here, the political activism. You provided me with the entry to this, which I've wanted to do, but you made it doable and easy, and thanks to you, I'm gonna be participating here. Join me. I'm gonna be doing daily forum threads where you're free to come and post comments, share links, but I want to also distinguish 2 different types of posts, or at least 2 different types of experiences. At this Twitter business, okay, social media, in the past 2.5-3 years, I have blocked delusional, disrespectful people are coming and saying you, bitch, f you, etc. 1,500 to 2,000 of them. In my Patreon community, that is about 700 members so far, and my Newsbud, and that has about maybe 2,000 to 2,500 active members, I have maybe blocked and requests of leave, saying please leave, here is this is the refund for you. At Patreon, only one person who was posting some really bizarre things and also attacking people, disrespectful of other people's opinion, other people's philosophical stand. And at Newsbud, maybe in the past 2 years, maybe 4 or 5. So it's very rare, because in some ways select group, not select group as in Republican or Democrat or the Green Party, not select people as yellow or purple or green or white or black, not selective as female or male, but selective as people who I consider, I describe as people who are decent folks, okay? Whether they are plumbers or doctors or accountants or teachers or a video producer, these people work. They are good people for their families, okay? They are not wife beaters, spouse beaters. They truly provide for and care for their children. What I call, you may want to call it very old-fashioned, okay? I'm 50 years old, so that goes with that too, maybe. Decent folks, clean-cut, decent folks who are also activists. And yes, there are millions of us. And when it gets down to it, That's where the change is going to come from. It's going to come from people who have stake in all these things that we need to counter, whether it's with their businesses or with their employees or with their employers, whether it's with their children's school, whether it's with their healthcare, with how the tax that they work so hard to earn, how their tax money is spent, okay? I'm inviting you to join me at especially Patreon, because economic times currently has been hard for the past 6-7 months, with unemployment on the rise, with this COVID insanity, COVID craze. And my Newsbud website, there you have access to thousands of video reports exclusive that I have produced, my expert partners have produced for the past 12 years. So there's enough material to keep you busy for 2 years if you were to spend time every single day on it. But the subscription membership fee there is about $8-9 a month, okay? Because of that, 4 months ago, I set up Patreon and I made that $2.50 and anything that people can afford, $3, $1, $4, and said, I'm gonna post these videos that I'm posting at Newsbud. They are not gonna be on YouTube. I'm not a YouTuber. I am not serving that platform. I'm not putting my work, most of it, on their platform, and I'm gonna get rid of them just like I'm doing it with Twitter as well. Join me at Patreon. It's only whatever you can afford, okay? If you can afford $10 a month, please do so. If you can afford $2 a month, please do so. If everything you heard, okay, and this is put sincerely, I don't have really any notes, any transcripts, any, what do they call that, the monitor where I'm reading from, and I'm just talking with you here sincerely, openly, undiplomatically. That is me, because just watch, and I'm gonna be blocking people coming and saying ridiculous stuff. One example I'm gonna give to tell you how the comprehension or IQ of these cyber junkies are in this dangerously low level. Let me give you one example, then you know where I'm coming from. Somebody said, oh, you have all these videos exclusive at Patreon and at Newsbud because you want to sell propaganda. People think one of the top most important main ingredients of propaganda is it has to be free, because with propaganda you want to inflict masses. The more, the merrier. And the objective is to get your propaganda and spread it, disseminate it as wide as possible. So it has to be free, not membership, not community-based, not subscription-based. So a cyber junkie with an IQ of 60 now has a voice on a place called Instagram or Twitter and saying, oh, you're making your videos all exclusive at Newsbud and Patreon and not open at this great site YouTube because you want to sell propaganda. This is what I'm talking about. You know, the airplanes that have been flying, or they were flying continuously in Iraq, over the countries like Syria, and they basically unload thousands, millions of flyers, information flyers. It's called propaganda. It's part of the psychological warfare, etc. Okay? Imagine if they say, okay, we have these flyers, these propaganda, and if you pay $2, we'll hand you all. Okay, propaganda, in order for it to work, in order for it to be propaganda, it has to be disseminated heavily, widely, and be free, so we can poison people. Now, tell me, people who are there on YouTube, okay, and they want to have 1 million people, so they can put the junk to see what is the market, how many delusional people out there, so I can put about my sperms being targeted or the Black Hawk targeting me, okay? That person, or CNN, you can go to CNN site and watch everything for free, and they're all, every single thing you see there is propaganda. It's free, man. Dude, it's free. Okay, so that's one idiotic comment that I have been getting a lot, and you're gonna watch, they're gonna come. You are making it, putting it behind subscription and community wall instead of giving it to millions of us for free. Therefore, you're selling propaganda. Idiotic, idiotic, idiotic. Now, the other one is, oh, you're doing this with your communities because you want to bring attention to yourself. Again, think. These people are delusional. They are not mentally stable, many of them, okay? And as I have told you, these are not the decent folks in general who are out there, and they are fulfilling their responsibility as human beings, as an earner, as a family, parents, etc. Okay, you want to get attention. What do you do? You put yourself on YouTube, okay? And you put yourself on Instagram and Facebook and then say, come and watch me, come and watch me. Look at me. I want to make it free and I want to make it available to millions because I want them to hear me. Don't matter. It doesn't matter whether I'm cyber-junkie or it doesn't matter if I'm butt ugly. It doesn't matter. I want attention. So what do? You don't go behind a small community of 2,000 at Newsbud and 650, 700 at Patreon. You want attention of millions because you're a narcissist, okay? Because you are a delusional narcissist who cannot make, not all of you, there are some exceptions out there, who are out there and there is no other way for you to get attention. Because look at you, I'm not talking about physical you. Look at what you have not achieved in life, which practically is everything. And nobody would give 2 minutes of their valuable time in the workplace or in some public forum to really physically listen to you. So now you have a voice through deep state platforms, the YouTube, the Twitter, Instagram, that despicable Zuckerberg's Facebook. Now you can pretend to be somebody and then do outrageous things, say outrageous things so that hopefully millions of people, tens of millions of people will listen to you, hear you, they watch you. I'm doing the opposite. I do not want the attention of billions or hundreds of millions or 10 million people. I do not want 50 or 100,000 followers here and 150,000 followers there. I want quality. I want quality, not quantity. Therefore, I am listening the attention. I'm putting my reports out there in my community of several thousands, okay? I am not becoming a YouTuber or an Instagrammer or a Facebooker, okay? If I wanted the attention, which I've always in my life tried to get away from attention. I don't like attention like that, okay? I'm not after that attention. I'm after good results, meaning let's do something together. And hey, every step, every improvement I celebrate. I celebrate the fact that here in Florida, I have already found 2 or 3 people, decent folks, who are with me. I am with them. And we are going to bring further, more people, more decent folks. And whatever little steps or big steps we are determined to take. Real activism. Parental choice? You betcha. Count me in. Informed consent for vaccinations such as COVID-19? Count me in. I'm there. Before I sign off, I know this is a long, chatty video, and I know there are snarky cyber junkies who are going to come and say, why are you talking so much? And I keep saying, why are you stalking me? Why are you on my YouTube channel? Sometimes I have to put the comment section in moderation. First of all, YouTube lately been sending all sorts of pornography stuff, you know, child pornography, dating sites, the spams, the bots that are posting that, and it's been increasing at YouTube. I'm disgusted with YouTube, as I am with all of them, but even more so. But okay, let me give you one good example of positive things happening. You know how it is here. I have Trader Joe's. I used to be a huge fan of Trader Joe's because there are certain things that I can only find at Trader Joe's. They have these amazing tarts that are flown in from Paris, from France, okay? Okay, there are great things there that only they have it at that price point, because even you go to the most yucky, disgusting bakery and that tart is $15 and you go like, phew, that's terrible. And there comes this magnificent French tart for $4 and it feeds a family of 4, and I'm all for it. But they say, in order to walk into our stores, you have to wear masks, otherwise we won't allow you. They even have goons now standing out there, making sure that there's distancing and you're wearing masks. Okay, it's just revolting. Same thing with Whole Foods, another place I used to shop a lot because I try to buy everything organic. I found out about this family-owned grocery chain. Most of their stuff are organics because this family also owned the farms, okay? And their produce are organic. They have great organic selection of meat, etc. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful grocery shop. And in fact, they have 2 of them. It's called Oaks Farm. It's in Naples, and they have 2 locations. Great place. And this family from Florida, the family-owned business, they have been, in fact, that's where I met Greg in person for the first time. He invited me to a protest in front of Oaks Farm. They've done something beautiful, activism, putting things in action. When you go there, you see that on the front door, glass entry, there is the government's guidelines of mandates for masks and and the distancing and all the stuff, right? Next to that, they put so they are side by side. So they put their own sign next to the government sign saying, government, our lovely government, mandates that you do this and this and this. However, if for personal reason, you are not able to wear masks, don't worry, you don't have to. And in accordance with your and our 4th Amendment under the Constitution, our Bill of Rights, and HIPAA regulations, we will not harass you by coming and asking you why you're not wearing masks and ask you to prove that you have medical conditions, because we have 2 things on our side as we the people. We have the 4th Amendment, our Bill of Rights. We have government's own mandate law, HIPAA. Thou shalt not go. It's a harassment. It's a discrimination. Okay? Go and harass them. Why? To prove their health reason in front of all the other people. So they have put it side by side saying we will act according to our Constitution and already in effect HIPAA law, which overrides all this BS mandates on masks. Guess where I have been shopping? I've been taking my business to Oaks Farm. I'm proud of the owner there. I'm proud of this family that owns and manages. I'm proud of their stand. They have taken actions. We, the people who are shopping there and boycotting other ones, such as Trader Joe's, which I miss their stuff. I'm miserable that I can't get certain things. But hey, I don't want to subject myself. I can't even really breathe wearing that mask. And I don't want to be forced. Therefore, I refuse to go there. That is action, people. You may think, some of you, oh, that's a small. No, that's how it starts. There are other family-owned businesses here in Southwest Florida. Why some of the others are not doing the same thing? They haven't shut down this market. They haven't arrested these owners and the managers because they know that the Constitution, the laws, are on the side of these real American people who are standing by their Constitution. This should be example for other shop owners. Why some of them are not doing it? We need to raise awareness. Greg, Gary, John, Mary, Jane, we need to have these people, these individually owned shop owners. Maybe some of them don't know. Maybe some of them believe that they have to, and if they don't, their store is going to be shut down. But look, we already have an example in place, right? Let's increase the number of shops, grocery markets, clothing stores, dry cleaners, and do the same thing. Can we do it? You bet we can. Yes, we can. Is it extremely difficult? Absolutely not. So instead of going there and be a cyber junkie, get up, get off your ass, do things. First and foremost, be a good person, be responsible, be a good mother, be a good father, be a good sister, be a good brother, be a good child. Be a good, responsible person towards your elderly. Be a good employee or employer. Be a good, decent human and fulfill all your responsibilities. And join us in these activism. The rest of it, it's nothing but junk, completely polluted with cyber junkies. Thank you all. Those of you who patiently sat through all this talk from heart-to-heart chat, and make sure if you're interested to join Patreon, I'm providing the link above, and you can just donate whatever you can, and join us on our daily by daily threads. That is the new social media. It's as easy as that. You can go create your own and ask people, those you know, and then you expand it from there. Say no to Twitter. Pull out. Okay, gradually, just like me, I'm pulling out, okay? Say no YouTube. Feel ashamed of the word YouTuber. YouTuber means a deep stater. I don't care what you're putting. First of all, if they haven't taken it out, meaning you're worth nothing, okay? And if they let you go in there, probably you're either useful idiots for something they want, probably, okay? Or you're pocketed somehow. Or you're delusional, attention-seeking narcissists who want to put it out there and become famous and be seen. I am none of the above. I am perfectly happy engaging in activism, continuing my reports, my analysis through my independent platforms, through my independent servers at Newsbud, also via my wonderful new community at Patreon. Please, those of you who feel the same, those of you I have resonated with, come and join me at Patreon, and I will be connecting with you there regularly. Thank you all. This is Sibel Edmonds chatting with you from Southwest Florida.